speak about it openly, because what you have to understand, not because we're scared or we have something to hide, no. Okay? There is a way to spread ilm. You with me? Not every person that is, because Speakers Corner, majority of people that watch it are laymen. Do you understand that? So when I don't speak about this issue in details, not because we have something to hide, no. Because those laymen have not studied, they don't have the usul. When you don't have the usul and you're just speaking about the furu' or something, when I say furu', this issue is not furu', it's from the aqidah. But this issue I'm going to speak about is based upon other usul. You understand? So the way of the Salaf is that the Quran and the Sunnah is the criteria. And the best argument is the Quran and the Sunnah. How Allah proves His existence, subhanahu wa ta'ala, many verses in the Quran. One of the verses that is so powerful in the Quran, which refute every atheist. In our time, especially our time. Surah about Musa alayhi salam. When Fir'aun asked Musa, who is the Lord of العالمين? قال من رب العالمين؟ قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين. He said to him, he didn't say التركيب والتخصيص and this and that. No. He said the Lord of the heavens and the earth and that which is between them, if you have any certainty. Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy upon him, said, he said, what is the meaning of the verse? Meaning that if you don't have no certainty about Allah's existence and that He should be worshipped alone, you have no certainty about anything else. And that is the true meaning of atheism. The outcome of atheism, they're not certain, they push what? Subjectivity. That's why I want to ask the guy here, the atheist, this guy, is it subjective or objective? Because he cannot say objective. Because this is what is pushed now. Yes, they have no criteria, subjectivity. Even some Muslims have been affected by it. There's a Muslim sister, a guy that spoke to her a long time ago. She said to me, how do you know Islam is the truth? I said, I didn't even speak. She said, that is subjective to you. That's what she said. So basically, I believe Islam is the truth because I believe so. You understand? No, Islam is the truth because Islam can be established with a rational argument, tangible argument that Islam is the truth. Not something good in our mind, not something good in line with the universal knowledge that the Creator has created mankind with. And Allah utilized that. Al-fitra, natural inclination, sound reasoning, not tarkib, what takhsis, none of that. Sound reasoning, likewise our observation. قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانْظُرُوا كَيْفَ بَدَأَ الْخَلْقِ. Allah has commanded us to see, look how Allah creates creation. Yeah? الفطرة أم خلقوا من غير شيء أم هم الخالقون. Sound reasoning. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب. You know, wallahi, akhi, some Muslims, they say to me, if you don't use science, how can we prove Islam is the truth? He thinks so. Yeah, Muslim said that to me. He said, akhi, because me, I don't use science. I use science because there's two. Let me clarify that. There's two types of science. There's hardcore science, and there's a science which is based upon assumptions. The hardcore science, that which make phones, which make cars, is a hardcore science. It can be testable. Because what is the scientific method? Is a collection of data based upon observation through experimentation, then you come to a conclusion. You understand? So you have to do it repeatable. But when it comes to, we came from, what do you call it, apes or something. How do you know? Billion years ago, that's not science. That's not science. That's clearly against science. Because why? But science has to go through the method of science. So yeah, do you understand that? So I said, Akhi, wallahi, we are not in need of this science, which is the fake science, to explain Islam.
What do you think about cosmological argument?
Cosmological argument about the beginning of the creation.
Everything that begins has a cause. If it continued all the way, we wouldn't be here.
I mean, that's not, the ulama said there's no, look, even the word necessary existence.
Very effective.
No, okay, if someone said that the universe is eternal, how can you refute that?
If the universe is eternal, it's always been here, then it would have taken an infinite amount of days for today to happen. That's illogical. It would have never happened. See what I mean?
So it said, no, it's always been days. You can't refute that by that.
Let me tell you, if it's always been days, that means there's been infinite days in the past, meaning...
So are you rejecting there's no infinite at all?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the time begins when the universe was started. Allah started creating. Before that, time doesn't exist. Time only, we're in this realm of time. So for us, for example...
Before that time it exists?
I'm not saying time didn't exist, but I'm saying that we're affected by this. Like, I don't know if I'm...
Look, Ibn Taymiyyah, do you know how Ibn Taymiyyah refuted it?
This argument?
Yeah, of the universe eternal.
How so?
Okay, define what is universe. Everything.
Yeah, everything in the observable universe, yeah.
So you're part of the universe.
Yeah.
You're not eternal, you come to existence just how old are you? I don't worry, man. Maybe older or younger. I don't worry.
I'm 17.
17. MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
How old did you think I was?
MashaAllah, you're very smart, Lama Barak. I thought you were 25 or something. You look young though, but I'm judging according to your intellect. MashaAllah. So don't fight me with that, yeah? So what I'm saying, he said, clearly it's observable that this universe is not. Because why? We can see clearly things coming into existence. Trees coming into existence. Clouds that didn't exist come to existence. All of that is part of the universe. Also, Ibn Taymiyyah said the Quran never went into that. You know why? Because there is a good argument, no doubt about that, as long as we differentiate between the two. Because we don't only get infinite. Infinity, we don't only get it. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no beginning and end. And He's the creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to be careful. Because some people, they negate it at all, you know? And you don't have to get into that. The best way is clearly you can see the organization, that the universe being programmed. The best example of Allah's existence, sort of insan. No, there's many. One of them. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Yeah. So now you ask yourself, he said, look Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look the style of the Quran, look the style of the Quran. It is not a time for a mankind to think. There was upon a time, he was not even worth of mentioning. So who gave you life? Who created you? Yeah, you know, Fitra is so powerful. That's why when he speaks to atheists, they will try to do anything to reject God. And you know, atheists, they believe in God. They believe in a creator. Am I right or wrong for saying that?
I think you're correct. They just don't believe it. Like, they don't say it, but the implications of their statements show that they believe in a creator.
Either it's going to be what? It's going to be sin, or it's going to be rocks. So they're going to remove the attribute of creation from Allah and they give it to anything else.
Even science.
One guy said Darwinian evolution create universe. One guy told me Darwinian evolution create universe. I said Darwinian evolution is a subject that you study. How does it create? It came after the universe. Do you understand my point? My point, actually, to summarize everything, that alhamdulillah, there's many proofs in the Quran. Some argument was used by the Al-Kalam. You have to be very cautious. One of them is cosmological arguments. Like, yes, everything that comes into existence must have someone. We don't say cause, because we say someone that brought into existence.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit off. Because the cause can be anything, you know? Someone that, we agree with that. We agree with that, yeah? Someone, for example, necessary existence is term. Okay, does it go against the Quran? واجب الوجود بكل وجود. Okay, but how to prove واجب الوجود? That's the problem that the Salaf won't against. And the ulama, like Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn al-Qayyim and other than them, won't against it, understand? So this time, yes, you with me. You understand that? So that لكل مخلوق خالق لكل محدث محدث ممكن الوجود واجب الوجود. Okay, prove that to me now. When you see Ash'ari's Maturidis try to explain it, they go against the Quran and they will lead them.
The same problem.
Barakallah fi. You know what I'm planning to do, inshallah, because I send you a message, you know, but they have credit. So you go through. Afwan Abdurrahman. What I'm gonna do, Abu Iyad gave a nice talk about this subject. Because we're just speaking here and there, but I'm gonna try to, because he's not on videos, Abu Iyad. He's not on videos at all, yeah? So I'm gonna do it with the video. I'm gonna go through what he went through. Because it's needed. I believe it's needed. I will explain it, huh?
I'm saying earlier that some people speak as God.
The beautiful deity, Muhammad,
About
his
atheism.
prophet,
He's there.
Muhammad was a practicing beautiful.
Akhwa, can we move from him? Akhwa.
Muhammad
No, you
was
don't
a
follow.
child molester, following the teaching of Allah, beautiful teaching. Allah, the deity of beautiful. Allah teaches what's worthy, what's worthy, what's understanding. Quran chapter 4.
Akhwa, just to mention something, this subject, I don't think it should be uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of, we're going to start a new one. Okay,
Yeah.
because it was not clear.
No,
Yeah, so delete the other one. You know, Akhwa,
We put new one.
Brother, sorry, I got a question. What was the subject about?
We're gonna start now.
No, about you can put about when we're talking about the sun as well. There's no problem, no.
I've given dawah because you know some Muslims. I mean, akhi, this, akhi, the brothers are even poor.
No, it's mine.
We were talking
Oh,
about the
okay.
sun, Islamic cosmology.
Yeah.
So
Listen.
I think it's important that because
I'll tell you why. Listen, akhi, yeah. You know, let me help you to understand, akhi, yeah.
We start a
You
new
know-
one.
Yeah, start a new one. I'll tell you why, yeah. You know some doubts, akhi, yeah, that we go deeper for the Muslim to understand it. For example, I'll give you an example, yeah. Muslim says about killing a prostate, yeah, in a Muslim country. How many Muslims they have problem with it? Some Muslims they even negate it. They negate it, yeah. And now, do you know why they negate it?
desires, isn't it?
No, no.
The place they were born in, it's not something, they don't have like the epistemology, like where we base our knowledge of, where we base truth off, they don't have that foundation. So they just go based on how they feel or whatever.
Not just that, because liberalism and the Western philosophical ideologies is heavily affected many Muslims.
Brought up on it.
Even the Muslim countries, you know, even the Muslim
countries?
countries. Yeah.
Actually, I have met a lot of Turkish.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, yeah? So what you have to understand, akhi, to deal with some issues, you have to go deeper than what you just, because you understand, akhi, Shamsi is saying that, I understand, yeah? But some Muslims, akhi, they've been, like literally, we have that in our countries, in the Muslim world, yeah? If you make up anything, there's an atheist Arab, yeah? There's a website, Arab atheist, yeah? They make up something about Islam and they say, there is a British scientist, his name is John Paul, yeah? They make up a name, yeah? And they put it up. That video was made by an Arab atheist, yeah? It's a lie. What is it? Now this Jewish atheist from Britain, he discovered that the period the way Islam doesn't allow women to pray, scientifically proven is the best way, and so on, yeah? Yeah, watch this one. It went viral, this video. It went viral.
When was this?
Not long ago. It went viral, yeah?
What's the video called?
Video called about the Jewish scientists that discovered about the menses of the woman in Islam is scientifically proven to be true, and so on, yeah? Anyway, listen to this, yeah? Brother, may Allah bless him. He said, wait. Let me do research. He studied and investigated about the person. Guess what? The person doesn't exist.
The Swiss person.
This British or American scientist, Jewish, doesn't exist. The only name when he done his research, this name goes back to someone who was a rapist in Germany. In the Western and the Arab world, معروف أخي, in the Muslim world, where are you from, أخي, by the way?
I'm from Tanzania.
Tanzania, mashallah. You know, we in Tanzania, everywhere, we cannot deny it in Muslim countries, yeah? If you say British scientist said, American scientist said, French scientist said, the Muslim, they will say, we hear and obey. معروف أخي, well established, you know? Instead of saying, okay, what does that mean? This معروف أخي. So what I'm saying, the way the Western world brainwashed the Muslims through media, movies, أخي. Some Muslims, when they come to this country, they think when he's going to step into Britain, or to Britain and America, they're going to have a kiss for him, a nice car, a nice house, a nice woman. That's what he thinks. He thinks that's how, he doesn't know when he's going to come, he's going to start sleeping in a bus. No one's going to give him a house. He doesn't know that, you understand? That's the reality for Muslims, akhi. They think America, there's no poverty. America, poverty in one of the country, one cities, yeah, is Detroit. 12% poverty, yeah? Back home we think, no, America is not poverty. America, in Chicago, people being killed more than Iraq and Afghanistan put in together. You don't see that in the movies in Hollywood. Huh? Gangs life, yeah. So America wants to help everyone, but they want to help the people there. Do you understand? So my point, akhi, is that some doubts and misconceptions against Islam. This doubt is based upon many layers of doubts. Yeah. So for you to deal with it, you have to go to the Ibn Taymiyyah style. May Allah have mercy upon him. And it's the Quran style first. And before that, you go to the asl of the problem. For example, the problem that some Muslims have problem with the capital punishment because they've been affected by the philosophical ideology called centralizing human being. Centralizing human being, which is markaziyat al-insan. When you centralize human being, this is from atheism, by the way, that we are here just to fulfill our desires. We are just here to live and do whatever. We just do whatever we want to do, yeah? So now if this is your starting point, of course you're going to have a problem with the capital punishment because it's a threat. But when your starting point, centralizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are here for a purpose, then everyone becomes clear. Do you understand, akhi? Yeah. So that's why when you speak to some doubt, akhi, it's not that easy. For example, the marriage of Aisha, yeah? Many Muslims try to negate it. Why? Because there's many layers of doubt about it. But when you go to the us and study history and breaking it down everything, then you say, oh, it makes sense, okay. Because this the issue of Aisha, the first person that spoke about it,
90s, no?
19th century, yeah. He was a British Orientalist that was living in Egypt. He's the first person to mention the issue of Aisha. For 1,300 years, no one spoke about it. Rather, it was well established in Britain, in America, in Africa, in Asia, everywhere. Because back in those days, there was no nursery. There was no schools. Child, woman. Child, man. You know, so when you study and you investigate and you feel, it makes sense now. You understand? So that's my point when I said remove the other ones, because there's many layers of doubt about
Even
it.
me,
Go
for
on.
example, I started consuming a lot of anti-Islamic material. The problem was that what the authority was for me wasn't Islam, it was what science says, or what this person said, or what this person said. But I think if we raise the kids on the idea that Islam is the authority, and if anything doesn't conform with that, then we throw it out, except from the other way, then we wouldn't have this problem.
No problem with that. I agree with that. But how can we do that? By exposing the science. Showing that science is not what is being portrayed to mankind. Science is not absolute truth. Even the scientists, some scientists do agree with that.
Yeah, the real philosophers of science.
Yeah, because Abu Ayyad, may Allah preserve him, he break it down into 3 levels. There's a top one, which I agree, he says, look, we cannot say God does not exist. We don't believe God exists, but we cannot say it. Then you have the clowns, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, that's the clowns, you know. And these clowns, which I call them the 5 soldiers, yeah, they haven't done nothing for the world. The world is drowning in depression, murder, rape, drugs, and everything. And the best solution for that is in Islam. A man that exists 1,400 years ago, he came with the legislation. It's better than any one legislation. The best and you know, these people studying the best universities around the world, Oxford universities, Harvard universities. But however, they cannot resolve the problems. You know how much money Britain is spending on alcohol, because people are drinking alcohol and they have side effects. Yearly, 2 billion money. In this country, we allow drugs, we allow singers that glorify, glamorize, promote drugs. Glorify, glamorize, promote disrespecting women. All of that. And we say to church and glorify and glamorize and promote gangs' life. We bring them to this country, around the world, in any country, they bring them, they give them money, and they bring them in a nice place, and they bring the youth to watch them, they pay money, and what they're doing, they are teaching them evil things. Then they say to the young people, do not stab each other, do not smoke drugs. That's contradiction. You just bring in people, pay them ridiculous money, when people are dying out of hunger, then you tell them to not drink. But Islam comes in. Whatever leads to evil, it's evil. Allahu Akbar. Look to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man that exists 1,400 years ago. We have the best experts on the world that cannot resolve the problem that we live in now. We have the Islamic legislation, best for mankind. Allahu Akbar. Just to reflect upon that, one of the prophecies, that the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Shari'at al-Samha, best legislation. And the problem, people that have problem with Islamic legislation, majority of times are evil ones, because he's scared. Why you cut off the hand? Why you have problem with that? You steal money. That's why. You know? Because we cut off the hand, not for someone stealing potato or stealing a cigarette, no. Someone who is causing harm in the society. So we set him as an example for people to live safety. You see what I'm saying? And why you have to do this? Because you're evil, that's why. Because when I used to live that lifestyle, I didn't like people, I didn't like police. Because I was crazy as well, you understand? You know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah. So Alhamdulillah, that's what we have to do. We have to break down what Islam is the truth with a logical, rational argument for people that have sound reasoning. For some atheists, they have no sound reasoning. He believes literally your talk can create a universe. It's possible to him. I spoke to one of them, by the way, like that.
What do you mean, talk?
Your toe. Because you know, everything's probabilities.
Oh, yeah.
One of them I spoke to him, he's an atheist. He says, Prophet Muhammad, what he did was barbaric. I said, hold a minute. Are you certain that Prophet Muhammad did was barbaric? Because you just told me there's no certainty. He said, no, I'm not certain. I said, go make up your mind and speak to me. You are doubtful. That's why when I spoke about objectivity, subjectivity, someone you want to speak about it. Because when you don't have no God, you live in corruption. And we can see that today. You wake up in the morning, you say, I'm a donkey. And you have to respect me, because if you don't respect me, you're a bigot racist. Yeah, you know about this now. Literally, you can wake up. Like, well, there's a man, he fixes a dog. He says, I believe I'm a dog, I have a human body, but I'm a dog trapped within a human body. And you have to respect him, brothers. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just talking to you. If you don't respect him, you're a bigot racist. Literally, you can rape a woman والعياذ billah, which is in Islam, you have a capital punishment for that. And if a police come to arrest you, say, so excuse me, today I identify myself as a penguin. So you can arrest me. And you have to respect my choice. والله said in the Quran, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. Whoever turns away from my remembrance, they have a miserable life. And we can see that right now.